Welcome to Instant Discussions.
No sound thing?
Are we not? Yeah, we're not recording the audio.
I just do it to the camera.
All right.
Because they've been...
It's just weird not
There's
to
too
see
many
it
issues
there.
with it, yeah.
I'm just going to put this here.
I'm put my phone.
Oh yeah, it'll make me feel more comfortable.
Let me put it on the thing.
Tony has tried to edit a photo of me.
Steffan invited me. Now I have to look through and remember that I did that twice, so...
You know which one?
The welcome. Because I'm not...
Just like the way it looks. Okay. I can breathe.
Now that they're going to see this whole part here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to Instant Discussions, episode 34, The Road.
34.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It's one more than 33.
So we had 34 and we've total had 100 views.
No, more than that. Yeah, we have one video that's got like 100 views. Yeah. So that's something. Yeah.
So the road.
The road.
It's a slow climb, crawl.
I'm gonna press play in the video now.
Well done.
Okay.
It's behind us, or in front of, behind the audience.
It's not quite playing.
It's playing just fine. All right, I'll hit play now again.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Everyone seems gonna be all the angry letters. Yeah. Every time I think of Dimension films, I always think of Robert Rodriguez.
29.
I was thinking Scream. Isn't that the one from Scream?
Yeah, it was the horror section of like Miramax.
Oh, is that what it was?
And there's that. From when I believe, I don't know. It's all changed hands so many times, but it was mostly for horrors and thrillers, that darker stuff.
That makes sense.
They were doing. That's why I saw it like with Robert Rodriguez. But yeah, Scream.
Oh, just the way it starts off, though. Look at it. It's so beautiful as it starts off. It's like the opposite of Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, it starts off with color and then goes into the dark drab.
Yeah.
That was the interesting, like, I limited, partially colorblind, so it's tough to tell this stuff with a lot of it, but I was definitely noting the colors in it. Very well done with the art direction in it, in picking that. There's the color of hope and life and everything, and depending on what point it is in their story, how desolate everything is, those colors go away, and then like some could show up in there, but it was mostly gone from there. That is well done. But yeah, it starts off
with the beautiful Charlize Theron. Oh.
And on stomach.
And I think they in the trailer they put her as like starring.
Yeah,
and it's like she was in there for 3 minutes.
Because she
More than that,
pops up.
there's a lot of little flashbacks.
But she wasn't in there much. I wouldn't say starring.
And this is one where like I didn't think about any actors being in this, so I didn't know until the end who was in it. I even forgot about Viggo Mortensen. Like and they're all actors that I don't always recognize.
Yeah, I didn't read the only thing I knew was Viggo Mortensen because we talked about it last time.
Oh yeah.
I remembered it because of the huge fail I made.
Yeah.
But
son of Anathron.
Yeah.
Anyway, Memento guy's at the end too.
Yeah, Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
He's another one
I did not know, and I was just like, I was talking to my girlfriend, she was like, wait, is that Guy Pearce? And like in the first shot, and I was just like, wait, really? And then I looked and was like,
I didn't think about it as I was watching it. So, and in the end credits came up and it said Guy Pearce. What?
Yeah.
What? How did he pop up in there? The only one, like now, if I go into a movie and know he's going to be in it, like in Iron Man 3 when he shows up in that, like I saw him on the poster for it, so I'm like, okay, I recognize that it's you. And plus, he had a bigger thing in that. But
and in here he kind of looks like, what's Ron Howard's brother's name?
Clint Howard?
Yeah. He's like Clint Howard.
They do a good job with making people up. And
yeah, he didn't look exactly, like, you could tell if you looked for it.
Yeah.
But you can easily miss that, I think.
Now that I know who everyone is, I can definitely see it. But, yeah, interesting. New people in there.
Good makeup and costuming.
So
that tells me.
The Road is a movie about everyone's become homeless people now.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
because of Obamacare.
Because of Obamacare. This is the post-Obamacare world.
yeah, those bright flashes and concussions.
Yeah.
That was Obama's
That
ego
was Obama's ego going
blowing up.
This is what happens.
Yeah. There's a lot of wood. A lot of wood lying around.
That's really weird, actually.
It looks really weird, huh? I just like the way it looks.
Now this...
Oh, and earthquakes. Apparently. They're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Or at least in the Mid-East.
Lots of trees falling in the
Middle
woods.
East. They're in the Middle East.
Yeah, they're in the Middle East of the United States.
Well, the earthquakes are because of homosexuality. I
Yeah.
don't know if you knew that. It says in Leviticus. So this is
Oh,
based
so-
on the Bible.
So is this the rapture?
Yeah, a little bit of rapture in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why there aren't that many people around because they've already been raptured. These are the people who haven't been raptured, and they even get in discussion about that because you can tell all the people around there are the people who don't really believe in God.
This is everyone that's in purgatory.
Yeah, they pray to
Because they
people.
talk about they pay to people in this one. They're not praying to God. They say like in the beginning, the first statement that he says about his son, saying, if my son isn't the voice of God, then there is no God. That's what he's saying. Like because he's saying that because he loves his son so much, but he's also saying that, well, if my son's not the best person, there isn't. It doesn't sound like he has complete faith in there. And his discussion with the old man that they meet on the road later on, that one too. So you can definitely see how these could be all the people that didn't make it in the rapture,
yeah.
and that's why so many of them.
Except
were
for the
resort to cannibalism
son.
and
Like
stuff
the
like
son is like perfect.
He wasn't born yet, though.
But no, but
There's
he wasn't.
rules.
Yeah, he wasn't born yet, and his parents
So
were raised.
wait.
He wasn't baptized.
Yeah,
So you're
Kurt-
saying by God's reasoning, unborn fetuses are not people yet?
Nope, that's why.
No, they're
before
not
the third
saved people because they're not baptized. They're not baptized yet.
That was third trimester too.
Exactly. They're not baptized yet, so they didn't go to. They can't go to heaven.
You don't know that. An unborn child, can they be baptized?
No, it's against the rules. You've never read the Bible, have you?
No.
You're gonna burn in hell forever.
Well, you'll just get to be in the road like everyone else.
Yeah.
What about people that can't read?
They're on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
If you were God, would you want illiterates in heaven?
That's not a question of want.
Would you allow them in? I wouldn't. I don't want people who can't read.
And they're carrying the fire with them because it's the fire of hell.
Mm-hmm. The fire of hell.
Yeah.
You got the fire in your heart?
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have the fire in your heart? Yes, I could say fire in my heart. I got it. I don't know what you're saying.
That was so good. If I was like, I'd be like, I don't believe it. What does he want? Yeah?
Part of me was wondering jumping around a lot here, but in the end, like, part of me was wondering why didn't they send the wife there? Because that would have been more,
or at least the kid too.
But I know exactly why they didn't, because they don't know if they can trust the kid, and if the kid's just going to shoot him, he was trying to protect them.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's...
And then, it's so heartbreaking to see when you see the whole family, because then it just immediately clicked for me.
And the dog.
Who the family was.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that were rummaging around when they were in the shelter.
Yeah, because they had the dog, and they're like, I hear a dog up there. They could have.
If only Vigo was trusting enough, they would have been able to have a dog.
Hell on earth, fire!
A dog watching.
Yeah.
If anyone would have barked.
They would have just the safety in numbers with all of them as well.
Stick in that food shelter area.
So they have these, occasionally random fires that happen because it's the apocalypse.
Well, it's so dry though.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Just
that's
the
the cool part I like about this movie too is
they
never explain what happens. You can kind of make up your own backstory.
Well, the only thing they give is the bright flashes and the concussion.
Yeah, but there's so many. There's a lot of
Yeah.
different causes of that.
Yeah.
That I could say because bright flashes could be bombs going off. Bright flashes could be an earthquake happening that severs the gas line, sparks the gas line explosion of that. Like it could be. There could be a lot of causes of that because you don't see, because you don't.
Well, the other thing too is that
there's already panic going off. There's people screaming outside before those flashes go off too. So something was going on as well. Like
but then nothing is growing anymore either. That's the other thing. Is just everything's dead. All the trees are dead.
All the trees are dead, and you also get the sense that even people don't seem to be having kids. Essentially anymore is the with the line of, never thought I'd see a child again. That there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Children men.
Yeah, children men type thing, but it's not. And it's not important what happened. Unless you don't want to be caught in the rapture with all the left behind. Like all of these, if it said at the end, directed by Kirk Cameron, first I'd be very shocked that he could produce something of this quality. But
have you seen Ring of Fire or whatever?
No, I haven't. See, I haven't seen stuff. Looking for Kirk Cameron's name?
No, I was looking to see who directed it.
Because that would be like the obvious, like okay, I get the message now here. Let's look at John Hillcoat.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what his history is.
Yeah, it says distributed by the Weinstein Company in Miramax, so it's that stuff.
He's a watcher.
He's
a watcher from Fringe.
He features Guy Pearce multiple times in his movies.
Okay, so here was a controversial scene that I know people were freaking out when the guy's teaching him how to...
When he's teaching him how to commit suicide?
Yeah.
I thought, I liked the scene because it's
I like
very...
the scene too, but people were complaining.
It's the way that he goes about teaching it and just the matter-of-fact nature of it, and he's also saying, remember what I've taught you.
Yeah.
Which I also, it's one of those things, like, I don't like hearing that in movies where the exposition of remember, we've done this before, remember how this is a thing, this is a natural thing.
It's funny, though, for me, having a son, though, I relate, this is realistic to me. I tell him all the time, remember what I tell you. I tell him all the time, if I die, if something happens, remember what I told you. So I go through this all the time.
I get that. So that's what I'm saying. I can forgive it, but it's one of those things that if it's in other situations, it's tough to. I don't like that in some ones, but it usually happens in sequels where they're trying to recap when it happened beforehand, or in Back to the Future 2 when they're trying to say, remember all this stuff that we didn't explain in the first movie that now we need to explain, or else you're not going to understand the other stuff that's going to happen. The scene in that it's in this world that they've come up in. It's not controversial to me to say that, hey, if I get killed by these cannibals and they're going to rape you and then eat you, you're probably going to want to kill yourself first. So this is how you do it right, because I don't want you to live through that. And plus, they're not going to heaven anyway because the rapture has already happened and they've already been taken up. So
so they're just soulless.
They don't have to worry about killing themselves for that. But let's see. There's something he did.
Makes sense.
InXS. He did an InXS documentary, so he's already familiar with suicide, or that was actually just autoerotic asphyxiation gone wrong. But
he doesn't have a lot of history.
Yeah, Ryder goes to this, or it's.
I guess he did a short Red Dead Redemption commercial.
Yeah. Lawless.
Weird.
That's the newer one that came out. I remember hearing about that.
A lot of
Lawless
music
came out.
And he only did that Red Dead Redemption commercial after this.
Yeah.
2010.
So he hasn't,
Lawless too.
the director hasn't done too much, but he's written some things.
And he did a bunch of music videos.
Yeah, that's weird because I really like the direction of this.
Yeah, but
this was done well.
Yeah.
Although what was interesting about it was I expected it when it started. I kind of knew, okay, this is what kind of film this is. I'm like, okay. I expected I was going to be crying at some point or another.
Oh, I cried for sure 3 times.
I didn't cry at all.
I didn't think I did.
And I think the reason is because it hits the note so hard of the suspense, and they make I got so mad at Vigo so many times because he just wasn't doing smart things. We were going, okay, he got wounded. He's going to go cauterize the wound, right? No. Okay, well, he's at least going to go into the ocean and dunk his leg in the salt water. No.
He didn't do. He does many wrong decisions.
And it's just why?
Well, the thing you have to realize too is when you're in that environment, you're not thinking correctly either.
He's got a ton of food. He's not hungry anymore in that moment,
dude. After years or whatever, however long this is of stress.
Well, the kid was born when it happened. So pretty much. So there's a good indicator. So I guess it's 7, 8 years. How old is that kid?
He was born a little while after it happened, but yeah, the year still would count. I don't know. Yeah,
it's basically however old that kid is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you have a life
about 9, so
if you have a life of affluence, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's just totally taken away. Like, you're not going to be thinking straight at all. Like, these people are just running off of the like instincts. They're not going to be doing any higher thinking at all.
Yeah.
So his mistakes to me still make sense.
Well,
they're tired.
I think I'm not saying that like anyone wouldn't think of those things, but he's not thinking about those things. He's not the perfect survivor in this world.
And like for me, like on another,
he just happens to be the one.
I was upset because like he had no training for his son. Like his son should know how to kill a man with a screwdriver.
Yeah, if he were
like the kid's a puss.
If he were a different type of person, if he was more a better survivor.
Yeah.
In this world.
They also made way too much noise, like all the fucking time.
Yeah.
To be honest, it really bothered me. Yeah, just the whole,
I was like, shut up!
Like, God, every single time. And then on top of that, and that bothered me too. Like letting the kid just go out on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just raised my hands in the air for like the longest time. That was the part that really got me.
Yeah, he's not
worse than the other ones.
He doesn't think clearly enough.
I mean, at least that part has like a little bit of justification in that because he was at his old home, but like still, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the situation, so
yeah. The thing is because the kid doesn't have any sense of nostalgia.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't understand
for pianos and whatever.
He doesn't know the before times.
A long, long ago.
Yes.
Well, you see it in his face sometimes. His dad's explaining stockings to him, and he's just like, "All right,
yeah,
no, yeah, I understand that.
What now?"
This guy's the first group of cannibals. They're pretty creepy.
Yeah, what I like about the first group is that they're heavily armed.
Yeah.
But you don't know what their extent is, what they actually believe. They could be heavily armed because they're defending what they've got. You don't know that they're roaming around killing people necessarily.
Yeah, that's the thing. When he says, we got food and shelter, he's going to have that voice in the back of his head. What if it's true?
Yeah, and that happens with a lot of these. You don't know which ones you can trust.
Like a game called Avalon,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he just decides to trust nobody.
Yeah, that's his way of going about it, which is just going to be him and his son, no matter what. It's always just going to be him and his son. And he's not going to have any hope for his son because he's going to die if he needs to get him involved with another group. So that's why he's not thinking clearly on this. If he was a better survivor, he would try to figure out who he can trust. He might spy on people to make sure they're good, like the people that have been following him the whole time. They're watching, they're keeping their distance. I don't get why someone would... The arrow scene in that one of why someone would just randomly shoot someone with an arrow and then...
That bothered me a little bit too, because they just would at least lay low.
Yeah.
And just wait, because they might not even notice you. And just leave the town.
But she said that they thought that they were following them.
Yeah. But then... And then just shoot him with an arrow unless he's actually coming towards you.
But if you think somebody and you're like in that state of mind where you haven't eaten and you see somebody who could have been part of food, it's like, why not shoot him?
I'm not saying as much as a flaw in the movie is it's just...
No, the flaw is when he shot him with the flare gun and he's fucking dead like in...
she shot him in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a flare gun? Those things do not have power like that.
I don't know. Well, we have to check which flare gun he had and we can test it out and shoot you in the chest with it.
Yeah,
and
if you want to try
that out.
No, I looked it up online right after. That's not going to go through anything. Because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. The only way that it could kill somebody, the most plausible way, if it gets stuck and you just light up on fire, if it gets stuck somewhere.
Yeah. What if he was allergic to fire? What if he was redirecting his arrow, but he hadn't flipped around the arrow yet, it was going this way, and it had hit right there and shoved the arrow a little further into his chest.
I'd like to see him just burn to his whole the whole thing went up in fire and they just was burning.
Well, you're also presuming that he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He could have just been knocked back. What if he had knocked back enough that he hit his head on the sharp object?
That could have happened. I was assuming he was dead, but they made it seem like he was dead.
Yeah, they did make it seem like he was dead.
Yeah, but they're just in panic in the moment and that.
He might have just gotten knocked out because he is so hungry, and the shock just made him pass out.
True. But I don't know why he didn't take his bow at that time. The lady's just sitting there screaming. I'm like, that's my bow now.
I don't know. Maybe just if if part of him understands that they weren't that bad of people to leave her something to defend herself.
They had the exact same reason he did, and I think to him, that's like the closest he's going to get to relating to a stranger. So he's not going to
see. But for me, for me having a son. This is about my son. I'm going to slap that woman who they tried to kill me, and I'm going to take that bow away from them. That's just me.
I don't know. That's just.
I'm just saying that's what I would do.
After the guy on the beach,
slap her, take the bow.
After the guy on the beach that took their stuff, like the way that they had treated him, and then he had the turnaround that his son had convinced him.
That was so awful.
But the thing, that was different though because he could have like messed with the kid and he doesn't. He just wants the food. That's different to me. Somebody attacking me? Nah.
Yeah, he even left the gun with the kid too.
Yeah.
He even left the gun. Like I was just like clearly.
It's another thing of it's a further of his trying to understand people, but not at first. It still takes him after shooting back at the guy, which he shot him. I mean, you're gonna do that. I don't know. I think he's still trying, still working at trying to change.
I don't think he is.
Not more. He's some bit of change, some little bit, but not anything that's gonna.
His moral lines are pretty flimsy. Like throughout like the whole film until the end, like his moral line is, "Oh, you're either a cannibal or you're not," and that seems to be where he draws the line.
Yeah. That's the thing. Are you good or bad? Or asking if we're still the good guys after he killed that guy who had a knife to his son's throat, which was justified in that way. Is
it placenta?
He's got a knife. The guy's got a knife to his son's throat. He kills him in that thing, and his son asks if they're still the good guys because he killed that guy. So that's he's got to justify it. To his son in those lines, and that's the thing of just if they're a cannibal, it's a bad guy. If they're not a cannibal.
But I think like he even like believes that though.
Yeah,
and that is his guideline.
No, that's where he believes it. But the other part of me is wondering if his son's not around, is he going to resort to cannibalism?
Oh, right. It's probably just for his son.
Because when he was saying but we'd never eat a guy even if we're hungry. We're hungry now. How long have you been hungry for?
Yeah, I think I just if I got to the point where I had to eat somebody, I would kill myself.
Yeah, I think that's what we're hoping that his philosophy is there. And at least with his son there, it is his philosophy.
Well, that would be mine. At that point, there's no going back, and the world's so horrible that you have to eat somebody.
What if you came upon you didn't have to kill the person?
Oh, an Asian? No, an Asian would taste better. So if it was an Asian, that's different.
A dead Asian.
Yeah,
because they got the MSG in their blood already.
What if this guy just got killed and no one else around there for that? And
you didn't have to kill him.
Yeah, you didn't have
Asian? Oh yeah.
Okay.
What about white person?
Not too tough. Chewy like calamari.
Much fat.
But if there was no one else around, if you didn't have the choice of Asian.
Oh well, I'll have to cross that road when I get there.
All right.
Okay.
We'll can't do that.
Steaks not on the menu, Tony.
Steaks aren't that high. Let's see. Production of this movie adapted from the novel The Road.
That's what made me want to watch this movie. Was my friend recommended this book, and he's like, "This is an amazing book. I know you're into the whole survivalist thing. I know you have a good relationship with your son. He's like, you should really read this book." I'm like, "Did they make a movie?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "There we go."
One of my girlfriend's relatives had read the book beforehand, and the book's
yeah, I heard it's
of course like most books,
crazy.
It's way better.
Yeah. But
I think have to read it though.
Yeah, that's the only thing you got to sit and read.
Yeah, no.
Or listen to an audiobook of it.
If there was no internet porn, I would read so much. But
such is life.
Yeah,
you would be such a scholar.
Could cancer by now if it wasn't for porn.
I can imagine Tony before the days of internet porn and just being like head of his class, on his way for his doctorate. And some guy comes into his dorm room as he's studying. I'm putting you much older as well. But, someone comes into his dorm room. He's studying. He's like, I'm working on my paper for my thesis paper here, and they say, hey, check out this internet here. Nah, I don't have time for that. It's got porn on it. What now?
This is internet porn. I don't know. I shouldn't do.
No.
And it's just a montage.
You'll like it, man.
Kleenexes going like that.
The whole Quagmire thing.
Yeah.
The episode he finds out there's internet porn.
Yeah. Yeah. Tony is this.
Or George Costanza when he quits having sex and quits masturbation altogether for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he becomes all scholarly, learns all these foreign languages and shit. And then like the moment he has sex again, he just turns into an idiot.
Yeah. So I don't know why I didn't hear more about this movie when it came out, considering it's Weinstein Company and they do their...
Yeah, I don't know why. I actually didn't even know about that.
Well, I think it was limited release.
Yeah, but
they didn't push it hard, right?
But Weinstein Company does that thing. They released this one in December, so they wanted it for recognition and stuff, and they do big pushes of these smaller films to get a lot of media attention. And maybe they did, and I just forgot about it. But
also, I'm not sure if he purified the water correctly, by the way.
Oh,
well, you're supposed to put it through first, and then you boil it up.
Yeah, you're supposed to have dirt, ash, leaves, ash, dirt. Pour it through that, or is it?
When you say ash, you mean the ground up charcoal?
Yeah.
What charcoal? Yeah.
There's a few different ways that you can do it, but if you're going to be boiling it and keeping it at a rolling boil for 10 minutes, then you don't have to worry about straining it beforehand. I would still strain it through a piece of clothing, but it's okay if you just take off the debris that's on the top of it or in the bottom of it. But as long as you're boiling it for 10 minutes, then it's good enough. And it also depends on the area that you're in for what would be around there.
So is that a no matter what, a 10-minute boil is good?
It depends on what altitude you're at and where you're at, because boiling times can differ.
But you're still going to want to strain it through something for...
The problem is that you're wasting so much fuel at 10 minutes of boiling. Right. That's because in there they don't have to worry about the fire restrictions of burning wood. What I have to deal with in backpacking is in many areas you can't have open flames. You can't have wood flames. You have to have the controlled gas burning. So you're taking gas with you, and if you're boiling for 10 minutes, you're wasting all of that fuel. So you really want to use, if your pump is broken, then you're going to want to use iodine tablets. But it doesn't taste as good.
I was about to ask, what's considered a closed flame? Do you know? Is there a way to create a closed flame without gas?
I'm sure there is.
That's what I'm thinking. There has to be. If you create a fire pit?
There's certain places you can't make fire pits in certain areas. There's a lot of... Yeah, you can't burn.
But that's legal in Mojave, right?
Yeah, that's legal in Mojave. So in this world, you don't have to worry about that stuff. Right.
So I love when they open
the discovery of...
Imagine never having a Coke, and then you're like, oh my god.
Not only a kid's first soda, but a kid's first soda in a world without soda where you don't know about this stuff, and it's not like other kids have it.
That gesture, him just doing this was so good. I was
everything about just thinking about it. I mean, you have the carbonation, you have the sweetness, and then, oh god. And all the different types of flavors within that Coke.
Yeah, I bet you he wouldn't like it.
Nah, it depends on
he couldn't chug it, but just to try it, I think he'd be like,
it depends on the stuff they've been around and what his palate be used to.
They've been eating dog shit with
all the soda in the world would be gone within a year or so.
But this one,
that was
a treasure.
If I came across,
so he wouldn't have grown up on it. It'd be completely.
No, he wouldn't. I just don't think. But it depends on the other flavors he's around, the palate he's developed. I think he could easily like it.
But I mean, Coke's been engineered for people to love.
Right.
I don't imagine somebody who never had it would be like, "This is disgusting."
Yeah.
I know what you're saying,
but it's not an acquired taste thing. He'd have to have a completely different taste.
I know. I quit soda for years, and when I came back to try,
that's you. You're different. That's Dr. Pepper. That's prune soda. That's the acquired taste soda.
Yeah.
That's not the one. That's not the no. If he comes across Coca-Cola or especially Code Red Mountain Dew, if he comes across Code Red Mountain Dew, I would live by that machine. I'd be like, this is my home now. I am going to be here, and just in case another truck happens to come by and deliver this Code Red Mountain Dew, I know that that's not going to happen, but I have to have faith.
That's funny.
And I am now devoted to that. If I find that, the nectar of God's in the middle of there, that's my altar that I'm going to now pray at. instead of praying to people. And I've never come across that shelter full of food, which is fully stocked with Code Red Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
You know the thing about the shelter that they found is they wouldn't be able to eat all that shit that fast. They would have to start with little increments because their body was.
Yeah.
I don't think they ate that much of it. I think they were sampling a lot of it.
Oh, sample.
Because they had a lot of it out there, but it's the thing of I want to try that, I want to try that, and I want to try that. It's the buffet of it, and I don't think they're finishing off a bag of Cheetos.
It's the Homer Simpson on the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's part of the thing that you're thinking when you're finding that food is you could think, okay, we got to ration this stuff because this is a lot of good food here, or the thought of we can ration it and prolong our death. Or let's just enjoy what we've got here.
Particularly not day one.
Yeah, day one, you just...
Day one, you don't think about that.
I don't care, just give me food, I'm going to eat all this.
But if you filled up your stomach with all that shit, you would throw up and your body would...
Yeah, but you don't care. It's the flavors that you're tasting this stuff.
Just savor it.
Yeah. You're not worried about that.
Horrible diarrhea. I
kind of wish that they did the other survival thing, how to open a can without anything.
Yeah.
Wish they had?
Yeah, this was because it's just something cool, like to learn.
There's fun. They can do a lot of
it through a movie like that. It would be awesome.
They could do a lot of fun survival stuff in there, but he's not a good survivalist, and that's the thing. You're not going to learn these things from him. If you watching Castaway, that's going to be more of the thing of seeing a person try to survive who's better at surviving.
The colony, which is on Netflix, I suggest. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it.
It's a reality show where it's like end of the world scenario, and they gotta go in these.
You can't really reality that.
Yeah, it's really.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. But it's really close to the way they take a whole block of LA, or they go down to Georgia and just where Katrina hit, nobody lives, and they just let them out there and they live.
I mean, lots of people are dead, but nobody lives.
Yeah. No, where nobody's living in that.
Sorry.
Ground Zero.
Awful.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you can't reality everything in it, but there are some elements that you can still do like survival practice stuff. It's the same way that when I was at Boy Scouts doing the Wilderness Survival Merit Badge, and it's like you can bring a trash bag with you, and did they let us bring a knife? I can't remember if they let us bring a pocket knife, but we enlisted a trash bag, and that was our survival for the night. We had to make shelter out of what is around.
That sounds fun.
And all you had was you were just given a trash bag.
We could take a trash bag with us that we already had, I think. Or I don't know if they gave us a trash bag.
Could you use your clothes?
Yeah, you had to have the clothes we were wearing, because Boy Scout can't do it. Okay. But didn't use them, because you just make the shelter out of what's around it. So it's the whole thing. But there's certain elements that you can do that with.
Yeah,
but they wouldn't do the would you resort to cannibalism thing, because that's not going to be reality.
No, it's a matter of...
And the way they choose,
if it's really life or
the
death.
people they choose to are like, one's a rocket scientist, the other one is a martial arts expert. Like one's a doctor and one's a nurse. So they have specific people, so it kind of is going to work out.
Yeah. So not this guy who's... we don't know his backstory.
The whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking about I would do it.
The guy asking if he's a doctor. And, at that point you can kind of think that, but later he is definitely not.
He is not a doctor.
No.
What?
He is an idiot.
I see doctors all the time with staplers. They just go...
No. The other things, like suicide, like cauterizing, sterilizing, and all that. Like,
a doctor wouldn't die from a leg wound.
Yeah. He'd die for some leg wounds, depending. If someone cut off his arms and legs, and he can't.
Well,
Yeah.
I said a leg wound.
Yeah.
Singular.
Yeah. Only one leg. His other leg's fine. But his arms
he got a leg wound and his brain was evacuated, just ejected out of his head. He's not going to live.
Arms handcuffed behind his back, and a leg wound. There.
So do you guys have a favorite scene in this thing?
You can find some...
There's so many things I like in it, but there's I don't know the finding the room of food.
Yeah, that was fun. You're like
of cannibal food.
Yeah. Oh no!
Finding the room full of cannibal food.
Oh god, that was horrible.
the basement.
Yeah, but the fact that
the idea of closing it back up because he doesn't want to be found out that he's there, and the son's going, "What are you doing?" But the beautiful thing of that it's not locked up and that they're going to get out, so that's already they have some hope, but then the people can still round them up. But it's I just want to open that thing up and be like, "Go, you crazy naked people, malnourished naked people."
The scene that scene I liked, but I really liked when he went up and he had the gun to his head. Mm-hmm. For me, that's when I started tearing up. Just
when he's about to kill his son,
doing that to my son.
Yeah, because his son's going to give him away. If his son gives him away, they're going to be eaten by cannibals and possibly raped by cannibals. Or his son he's just going to be killed and then eaten by the cannibals. So that idea of it, because it does you kind of have you have to shoot your son in the head.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, he is such a horrible survivalist. I saw it the moment they entered this house. I saw in the next room the telescope, and I was just like,
all the stuff he could have picked up. Yeah.
Not even that, but just that means there's someone.
Yeah,
here.
all the signs of life in there.
There's so many signs of life.
Oh,
right there
with the
telescope.
Yeah, with the art direction in this is you start to see more colors in here, and they're still subtle colors because it's still in that post-world, but there's a little more life in this house.
And booze.
Boobs.
Booze. Booze.
And on top of it, he drinks the whiskey.
Yeah.
You don't drink whiskey in survival situations. You keep it for wounds.
Yeah. No, the drinking and smoking in the one series, hang on, that was the scene for me of no, you're a terrible survivalist person.
Awful.
Yeah. But the thing about drinking, when you find a bottle of whiskey and cigarettes and it's been 7 years of shit, it's not just nice.
No, I can see people doing it.
I
wouldn't be doing it.
I wouldn't do it
if there was
another
survivalist area either.
Another survival person that I trusted with me, not like a child, for instance.
Yeah.
I might have a drink and be like, as long as you're not, I'm gonna have a single drink.
Yeah.
And then another night, you can have a single drink.
See, for me though, my son would.
I don't want to go out of control.
He would be on patrol. He would know. He would have his guns ready.
Yeah, but you've trained your son in a survivalist.
This son doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. But that's what pissed me off. He leaves
You're
him
a
as a
survivalist
puss, though.
for the son who's being raised as a survivalist. So
but when this happens, he just lets his son just stay a puss.
Yeah, he didn't grow up with his son on the.
It's not that he's letting his son stay a puss. He's teaching him his survival, his own survival.
Yeah,
skills.
he's teaching him everything he knows, which isn't that much.
This is nothing. Practically.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So he had to have been something like a software engineer or something like that.
But he
before
lived
this,
like on
too.
a ranch. She had a horse and stuff.
Another thing that really bothered.
Yeah, but that could have been his money brought that in, and his wife is enjoying those things because
and he has a hot wife.
He's got to have money to bring in that wife. That's the thing to get Charlize Theron. He's got to have money. So I'm guessing.
Plus, they own a piano.
Yeah, he's got to be a businessman or software engineer. I'm thinking more software engineer because of the way he looks. Not as much of a businessman, but he's not any physical skills, even including doctor and physical skills, or nothing trained with marksmen. But he could have played video games before, which allows him to get some of his skills in shooting there, and he could have acquired that over time. But
this even entering the house, there was a line that really bothered me about this whole house scene, is that when the people returned, they're talking about the smell, and that really bothered me because that meant that there was a smell in the house of these dead people. And he didn't smell it and didn't think.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, the whole point of that they left the windows open though was to get the smell out.
But they still smell it though. When they return, they still smell it.
They should have been able to smell it,
and that's people that are used to it.
Unless their sense of smell is gone from some other thing that happened, which they don't need to explain that because that'd just be boring exposition. But you should just assume that from what's going on.
So my favorite scene where I cried like a little girl was when the kid wakes up. That whole scene when he's explaining to him what he has to do, and then he falls asleep, and the kid wakes up with him, and then he goes and he takes the gun and takes all the stuff. That for me was my favorite scene.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
My favorite scene?
Yeah.
Actually, it was probably the very last one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
No, the Guy Pearce thing and everything, and the family and the dog and all that.
And you're happy because you're not quite sure if he's like some creepo dude who's gonna try to rape him, but then you see the family.
No, it's just that realization. The dog thing, like I was.
With the dog. Oh yeah. You heard the dog before too.
You hear the dog, because the kid thinks it's good, but the father's warning against it. But the realization here that was that family, they could have been safe and good if they just.
No, but they think they hear a dog when they're in the mall.
Yeah,
they make like a little reference to what they think it is.
That and then the boy they say the time like there's so many.
And then and even the other time when
pulling away from that boy
when they get separated and there was that little child and he was trying to get him to talk.
Yeah, there's that too.
That was one of my least favorite scenes.
So it's just like this is that family that they could have
like that was the father being so irrational in that.
Yeah,
and likely
not trusting his son in the way that he doesn't trust him. Like I saw a boy, no you didn't. Like
my son is the voice of God. Shut up, son.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another point as to why I'm saying like these people didn't get in the like. You can totally see that message being put in this. You know.
Yeah, this scene.
We'll shoot you, boy. For a second, I had forgotten that it was in this same scene, and I saw him putting the gun to his head, and I thought it was just like a random of them walking around and be like, "I'm gonna kill you." Son. I'm just going crazy with that.
You know, the other scene I liked too was the old man scene.
Old Manson?
The old man that they meet up with and they give him the food. That was
because the kid. I mean, he is being so sweet though, and it's like he's the one who's the only person kind of here is trying to help still.
Well, it's
I love the question that the man asks him of when he asks him if it's his son, in the way that he asks it, and that of the, is this boy your sex slave?
Yeah.
Because
that's what you get.
The old man doesn't know if he can trust dad. That's why he's like handing him over his stuff. He's like, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Like, don't kill me, please. It's
with his Nikes on.
Yeah. It's post-apocalyptic world craziness, or post-rapture world.
And also, when they're leaving, I would have been way more careful than they are too, because I would presume that these guys have trapped the place with like bear traps and shit.
When they're looking out, yeah, but they're. Maybe there aren't enough people. I don't know.
Like when they're running out to this hiding spot, okay, but like when they leave it.
What if they don't get a lot of traffic around there, and they're bringing these people in from a long ways away, and they're not used to having people? They don't need to have the traps, and they have so many people there. I don't know. I don't think they would need the traps. I think the traps are more if you have a smaller group of people and
protection. I mean, there was only like 4 people that are staying in this house that are banding together. You know, like
I don't know. I don't think they necessarily.
Yeah,
need
I would
traps.
have traps. I would do the Vietnamese.
No, you would have
sticks with the shit on top.
I just don't think. I don't think
put them in a hole.
There's some really good traps in some part in Walking Dead. It's down there. Some good fortification going on, but.
Yeah. It's like not scary for him.
Yeah, I loved it, but this did not. I don't know. I don't think they needed that. One scene that I did like. I like some of the scene. I like a lot of the scenes with the cannibals and showing more of the cannibals, like with the blood in there where they're chasing down those people. That scene. The thing I like about it is that they talk about the cannibals. They talk about this fear of that, and I think the reason I like seeing those is it's this world so destroyed and everything, and you don't see what happened, and that's fine. Not saying what happened, but at least seeing the reality of there is a real fear of them to worry about. It's not an irrational fear of anyone else. By actually showing that and having them come in contact with those people, that gives some justification to it, and I wouldn't like to go this whole movie and not see
a real cannibal,
real cannibals, the real horror of it.
Well, they showed it really early on.
Somewhat.
The guy that they killed, you find you see his decapitated head under the car.
Yeah.
Afterward, and then you just see his body just like mutilated.
Yeah.
No, they field dressed him. They're going to eat him.
Yeah. I don't. It's not it's not in the same degree as much.
Yeah, when you show the guy,
I assume to me
in the basement.
Yeah, the guys in the basement are the people
with the pieces
like
cut off.
No, but I understand that. Like that is like I think clinching. Like, but I think that I was convinced at that first one though.
Yeah, you're convinced that
there are cannibals.
Well, you know that
you know that of his imagination. Like I don't know why else they would have mutilated that guy's body.
It wasn't that I wasn't convinced of it.
There was their friend.
Yeah.
No, because when you go hunting, that's what you have to do, so the meat doesn't spoil. You gotta dress it and take everything out and leave it there.
That's the thing. If those cannibals we know at least that they're going to eat people, but they didn't kill this guy. This is.
Oh, you're saying it's non-violent cannibalism.
Yeah, the other guy had killed them, and it's purely survival in this time.
So you would have been bothered if there was no violent cannibals.
Yeah.
In this movie. Okay.
So seeing the food storage, the basement food storage of all the people in there, that's the...
You're going to go to the pantry.
That's long-term cannibalism there. I'm not the...
New meaning to that phrase. Going to the pantry.
It's such a... thing, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the hunting down people, the slaughter and the blood, and adding the color to it by seeing the blood and the life in there. That's the end.
If I was in that situation, I'd just take my feces and just rub it all over myself. Seriously,
in that situation, I do it.
If I was stuck in the pantry like that,
fuck you guys.
Just fuck you guys. Feces all over me. Have fun eating.
I don't know. I'd think for that too, because then you also want to do eating your own feces as well. Just saturate your entire self with that. You're I'm gonna ruin this meat for you guys. Just completely, because just on the outside, you're oh, it's
actually, if I was down there, I would just bite off my tongue and let me bleed to death. That's what I would do.
You just hope that you get to kill yourself beforehand.
That's what I'm saying. Just kill yourself, bite your tongue off, and let yourself bleed out, and then that's it.
I like this little toy.
It's kind of weird toy. It's not happy.
It's like an alien toy. Maybe it alludes to stuff that was going on right before this happened.
And here's the Bundy couch.
The alien invasion that was going on.
Bundy couch, actually.
Maybe it was aliens. Maybe it was aliens to destroy
aliens.
them. And that's what. So they had these alien toys because first, the aliens made contact, and then they had this happiness to them. And they made them their friends, but then it was actually misleading.
It was a cookbook.
Yeah, it was a cookbook.
It's so funny. Just sits down. So broke my shit.
There's so many fun things to do with apocalypse movies. I think I love apocalypse movies. This year we got a lot of them. In 2012, they were starting to come out with them because of the 2012 apocalypse thing. But this year at theaters we got
I think I've seen any of
the World's End and This Is the End. Yeah, you didn't like them, but you're crazy with that. But
which one's which?
Where's Simon Pegg?
Which one's Craig Robinson?
Craig Robinson was This Is the End.
That one I haven't seen. I want to see that one.
That one's good.
That one looks.
I like that one. But you didn't like World's End. I like.
It's a shame. That was one of those movies where I kind of got the hint right at the beginning that it's a movie that I should see immediately with the figure out, and it was it was totally awesome. And
it was good fun.
That was a good QL topic about.
Yeah, but apocalypse movies they're fun things. There's so many things you can do with them, and especially depending on the time that it is. I like seeing this one because the other ones are set this is the apocalypse. This is what's happening. This is the apocalypse happened 10 years ago, and now we're just
that's interesting. There's been a long time since it happened.
Yeah, the longer you get post-apocalypse, the crazier it's going to be of how much hope is left of anything coming back, and especially with nothing growing back, and still the fires, and still how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, if there's no vegetation.
But
I want to see the sequel.
I know, but then they see the beetle though. That's huge hope right there.
Yeah.
Beetles don't.
That beetle was huge.
There's some hope there, but I want to see the movie of this in the 20 years after this, but nothing getting better, just still declining. Those 20 years, what's left in there, and maybe it's just some sort of
Canada survived, and then it was just.
Well, that's the other thought I'm having is the what if. When they're sitting on the shore and they're standing on the other side, it's another father and son, the same thing like us. But what if the thing is that the country's just been nuked from the other countries, and the other countries are all fine?
Yeah. Canada and Mexico got together and said, "Retire."
Well, yeah, they're you keep nuking everyone else, and now we're gonna.
They would have known that.
Nuke you to death. No,
they wouldn't necessarily would have known that. There's no communication.
Well, but like we were saying earlier, they knew something was going on.
They knew something was going on, but what if it was a surprise attack that they didn't know about?
What if North Korea just went crazy and just said, screw it? Because they're crazy.
And everyone's just sitting around filming their little YouTube shows, and all of a sudden, flashbang.
Red couches,
it's destroyed. No prior warning of anything.
Just be sitting there watching YouTube, and
all of a sudden, flashbang, and everyone's dead around you. That's always the thought I keep having every time the stuff about North Korea keeps coming up of the saying they've got the weapons of that stuff. Just like the stories come in so often that it's become this white noise that you just hear of North Korea wants to blow up America.
But every other country that hates America has to understand nuking our country won't do shit. Won't get their end. Because they're just going to hurt the common people that have. But what they've got the common people in America have no connection to what's really fucking going on anymore.
But the crazies don't.
As far as I'm concerned.
But that's. You don't even understand, that's not even understood by all of the U.S. military when they go and bomb other countries.
I know,
It's the same thing. In looking at this, you can kind of think of the countries that have been bombed by America and what it looks like there. But this is what if that's the thing? What if all of North America has been destroyed or evacuated? What if any of that... If there is actually hope on the other side of that water, but they're so convinced that this is
this could be a result of World War III.
There's so many things that could have caused this, but there's one part of it that I'd like to imagine that everything else is fine in the other parts of the world. It's just here, because when all communications cut off in that way.
Hopefully this is just Kentucky, because nothing really good comes out.
No, this is shot in Kentucky, because they don't have to do anything for set dressing. But, this is pretty much how it is.
I think the U.S. would be okay.
Sadly, they could just come in after a tornado and
what do you mean?
Film this.
If it was just Kentucky, the U.S. would be like, sucks, but
one down.
Could be worse.
No more fried
cross a star off the flag.
They can still have fried chicken. Don't be racist.
Yeah, we have KFC down the street. We don't have to. Come on.
Somebody's a racist.
It's not like all KFCs go away if Kentucky's gone.
Well, it's not fried in Kentucky.
All the spices come from there, so they gotta shut down. There's no more secret spices.
Alright, so this movie budgeted $25 million, made $27 million. So, yeah, I mean, it didn't make too much, but didn't lose all its money. So
I can't see this being a huge draw.
No.
People, let's go on a date night. Let's go watch The Road. You're not getting laid after watching this.
This is
pretty heavy film.
Yeah.
Heavy. And another thing of there's so many controversial parts in this that I on a
you won't get laid, you'll just get
cuddles stuff.
Yeah, she'll cry on your chest because she has daddy issues, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
We should have watched The World's End, even though it's not as good as people say.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So, well, just so you know, I give it 5 stars.
You have 5 stars? Of course.
I really and once again, I have the sun thing, and the whole time...
You have that sun thing?
Yeah, I got that kid thing. So at the end, I was, actually, yelling like the stereotypical black person in the movie theater. I was yelling...
Go in there!
No, I was like, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, boy! That's good! I told you to do it! I was seriously going off at the end. Even... Yeah.
But, see, I was thinking about when I was watching this that you've got such a stronger connection to that.
Yeah, you're the father in the group.
Yeah, because you actually can understand that because you've got the life experience of that. Whereas, I mean, don't care about stuff
well, you've had a cat before, right?
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Yeah. I don't have a cat anymore. Thanks for bringing it up. Jerk.
Wow.
I said you've had one before.
I know.
Wow.
Now I'm the bad guy for just talking about your cat.
Cat's like a son of me. Bastard. Next time I'm talk about your dead son.
He's not dead yet.
Not dead yet. No. Check back next episode. Retaliation! That's what you get for mentioning my cat.
Ricin in his soup.
Totally gonna do it. This one kind of looks like Brock.
That's racist.
It's facts.
That's true.
What'd you give this movie?
I was having a hard time because when
I forgot to check what it recommended it to me at.
It recommended it to me at what I kind of wanted to rate it, and but it's not a solid number. It's a half.
Yeah.
But it's a little honestly. I mean, I'm leaning. I'd give it a 3.7.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range, and then because it's higher, I just give it a 4. Probably.
Yeah, I think it rated me around. It recommended to me somewhere close to a 4. I gave it a 4. There were still parts of it where it still felt to drag a bit, and I mean I
could definitely see that.
I don't.
That's kind of the nature of the movie. So I didn't mind it too much, but Yeah.
See, for me, the drag, I was filling in with tons of shit.
Yeah.
So
and
I
I
can
feel
see
your
how
mind's
you-
going and racing and thinking
Yeah.
about all the stuff that's going on elsewhere on that.
Especially
I imagine
with
watching it a
kids
second time would be worse.
Yeah.
But
that's a problem because you're not thinking of what's going to happen next, and you're just like, it's taking a little while.
Yeah.
But so I mean, it wasn't terrible drag, I really like the idea of it. I
wish it did a better job at like
You wish he was a better survivalist?
tear jerking me. No, he doesn't even have to be that good of a survivalist. Because I mean, it's a movie. You know, that's not what makes.
But
it
more
movie,
emotional with it. I think a lot of the emotion comes from you have to bring your own into it.
There was so much suspense. It killed any kind of when there's that much
That's what I
suspense
talked about
going
with
on.
the
My
dragging, I think
adrenaline's
it was-
pumping too much for me to cry.
Yeah.
In that situation, so it's just I was so just warded from even the thought of being sad because I was just so hyper aware of like he should be doing this, we should be doing this, you should be doing this, and like not even thinking because he just leaves the fucking hatch open.
Yeah.
At least close the hatch. Like I understand that it's dark, but you've got candles. Like
Yeah. He doesn't do it until night comes and then he puts the mattress over it to hide it.
like I understand maybe not like getting the mattress immediately, but at least close the fucking thing. Like there are just so many things that was just like. My adrenaline was swimming too much for me to even feel any kind of sadness, like at all. And
It's because you're a robot.
yeah, people think I'm a robot because I didn't cry from the beginning up.
I didn't either. I didn't care about the characters. I'm like, I don't know these characters yet.
It wasn't even
Come
that.
on.
I just like to call you a robot.
It wasn't even that. It was just that like she had a full life. She grew old. They are married. They are in love. What's the problem?
No, it wasn't the sadness of the. It's not the sadness of her dying. It's just the. It's not sad necessarily entirely. It's just that it was such a great, concise story, in the way it was told, in that silent part of that story.
Well, it was well done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's well done.
I'm fine. I only call you a robot because it's fun to call you a robot.
All right.
It's not like.
No, I understand.
It's not like you actually.
It's a Munsinger thing. You know, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, we all know you have no.
So we got a 4, a 5.
Yeah,
What'd you
4.
say?
Is it 4? 4, 4, 5. Yeah, it's good. So we're pretty close to this agreement. But yeah, that extra star I think comes from bringing your own emotion to it because it doesn't.
If I didn't have a kid, I wouldn't do it.
It doesn't like it doesn't
that makes sense.
It doesn't work to build your connection with it.
That's what it's missing for me. So if I had a kid,
I think that's what it is.
That struggle in me would have been there.
It doesn't work with it like in some films they'll make it like so you can relate to it in any sort of way with a different kind of connection to it. Like if you don't have this relationship, you might have a similar relationship with stuff. But I think this one, I don't know, it really gets that. You still get maybe get 4 stars if you give it 3 stars if you didn't have any kind of empathy for any of them. But that 5th star is the father-son bond, that specific one, and that's what I think. Yeah.
I have to make mental note or note it somewhere, like when I have a kid.
Yeah. Filming took place in
days,
Pennsylvania,
rewatch this
Louisiana,
one.
and Oregon. Louisiana, of course. And, thanks for bringing up Christina in there earlier. So
we're going to
next week. Next week, my pick, right?
Yeah, it's your pick.
Yeah. Usually on top of things. Let me just randomly.
somebody did a request.
You know what? There's somebody did a request. We might get to that one later. I've got one that I kind of want to get in here, but I wanted to bring up. There's a interesting section that came up on my Netflix, and I'm not sure if there's nothing showing up on here right now. But did you guys notice the random picks selection on there? Mine had that on there, so it's got the ones this is based on stuff that you like, based on stuff that you like.
When did you do that?
There was one that was on there, and it showed up as random picks, and I really like it because it's got stuff that's like the deeper cuts of they wouldn't recommend this to you because it's not based on anything, but you would have never known it was on there because it's not a new release. It's not anything connected.
I've been kind of upset about that actually. I was like,
because it kind of
hides
things from you with so many things that they have.
And then I end up getting so curious. Let me look through your Netflix queue and see what actually exists on here.
It's but that was on there and it doesn't always show up. My pick for next week, I had a bunch of them that I really wanted to talk about, and there's some that films are some of my favorite films. But there was one I wanted to pick that's not on there, I was listening to a podcast and they said it was on there and it's not, and they're liars. But they didn't know it wasn't on there, so that made me sad. But there's one that's on there that I found out last week that you hadn't seen. So I'm gonna say, like, don't go into it with. It's one of those that it's become such a cult hit that it's got a lot built up on it because people have seen it at the right time. So, but
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so don't go into it thinking as much big, but
Rocky.
It'll be fun to talk about it. Nope.
Just kidding. I know he's seen
yeah. He's never seen Rocky.
Yeah.
And you're too quick for me. So we're gonna discuss a little film from 1994.
Yep.
Called Clerks.
What?
Yeah. You could read the. Let me see if you can read this.
I don't think he's gonna like it. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm not sure if you're gonna like it.
I'm not sure I'm gonna like it either.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. I'm just saying, like, just watch.
No, I'm not gonna go into it with bias. Like, the thing is I do like Dogma and I do like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So
yeah, which is so weird because it's like
do we need an explanation?
Come on, like,
should we read the?
I was seeing the description. I was seeing if you should read the description first, or if anyone should. It's not really. It's one of those movies.
Two clerks hang out.
With any movie, unless I'm told to read it, I just don't. It's a pretty good rule of thumb.
It doesn't give it away. No, there is stuff you can give away in the movie, but it doesn't. So much dirt. Just watch this.
That is a lot of dirt.
All right, so next week we'll talk about Clerks.
And I enjoyed the toothbrush thing too. It's like he's never brushed his teeth in his life.
Yeah. So many good scenes in that.
The kid did a great job.
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, kudos to that kid.
All right.
Just watch people shower. Next week we'll talk about Clerks. And spread us around.
Is there any specifications you need to make about which Clerks or anything? I don't know.
They don't have the sequel on there.
There's no TV series or anything.
They don't have the TV series on there. That's the problem.
Do they have the original, the 1964 Clerks, that it's based on?
The original. You can read the book.
So it's the 94 Clerks that's now 34.
And it's also the only one that's listed under Clerks. Yeah, it's not the director's cut. We'll talk about that later.
Just next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.